Hi guys, if it's Tuesday, it's Down and Dirty Woodscraft. Stay with me. Okay guys, today we're going to talk about something, a little bit of woods wisdom I want to pass on to you. And I'm kind of rushed for time today, so this is going to be down and dirty and really quick. With all the recent storms, I want to pass on a little bit of woods wisdom to you for when we're in the field. And it's a little bit of weather understanding, because once you understand what you're looking at, it becomes obvious of what's going on. But let's talk about a tornado, where it's coming from, why it happens, and how it can be detected by us in the field without having that alarm go off on our phone or etc. First of all, how does a tornado, this isn't the only way, but this is the vast majority of the way, where do tornadoes come from? They come from this. You're going to have cloud, big storm cloud. And this cloud is going to generate a big downpouring of water. Let's say here's the ground level. This participation in this heavy downpour, not just light rain, but a heavy downpour, because something's happening in that cloud. It's hitting two kinds of weather systems or something, and it can't hold the water, and it simply dump, and it pours, a massive pour. Well, this forms a suction at the top. Heat and thing made the cloud rise, and now the falling of the water forms a suction. This sucks air in at the top, which flows all the way down. Now, as this water impacts the ground and this wind that's being sucked along with it, it curves outward. So this wind coming down is going to curve outward at ground level. Okay? At the same time this is happening, this suction up here is going to cause the wind from over here to flow toward the cloud, be taken up on the outside of the cloud, hook, roll over, and start going down. That's the reason when you see those big, huge storm fronts, it looks like a wall. It isn't any fluffy, rolly, but it's a wall going up. That wind's blowing vertical, and it kind of smooths out the cloud. It begins to look like a chef's hat. You know, that round, straight wall, French-type chef's hat? Starts looking like that. And this is like a supercell, a big, powerful storm. Now, as this water and wind is dropping and this wind is turning and coming out, it's meeting this wind coming this way along ground level. These two cause a chaotic mix right here, but ultimately this wind is going to be turned up and be sucked back in, and this wind is going to be turned up and sucked back in. Now, this is what I taught you earlier of you're here and you're looking at the storm, and the wind is coming from your back going toward the storm. It's not going to rain on you yet because you're too far away. But then you get to that magic point where the wind just goes chaotic all the way around you. It seems to be coming from everywhere. And then it shifts and it's coming from the storm. You pass this point right here. And that means you're getting back so close to the heavy downpour. Well, as this air rolls back up, right here something happens. Relatively low altitude, like 1,000 feet up, 500 feet up, whatever. This happens. That wind starts rolling like a barrel. You look and that big old wall of a cloud, and then kind of near the bottom, there's this shelf sticking out. That shelf, the squall line, is the actual edge. It's the barrier that on this side of it, you've got the air and that rolling air, and then on this side of it, you have the vertical column of water falling out of the cloud. This swirl, as it rolls like a wave, or have you seen a hydraulic dam, the water coming over a dam, and there at the face of the dam, it kind of rolls backwards towards the dam? Same dynamic. That wind is falling, hooking, turning, and rolling back toward the cloud like this. This rolling action is what spawns the tornadoes, because as it winds up, it gets detached sometimes. When it does, it kind of like a whirlpool breaking off and going out into the water. Same idea. This swirling action right here gets detached, and one end drops to the ground, and thus you have the classic tornado shape of the swirling air, one edge dragging the ground. It's a whirlpool in the air. Now, what's an indicator of this? How can we in the field realize what's going on? One, we look at that big cloud. It's going to be a big cloud. Okay? Powerful tornadoes come out of big clouds, storm fronts. It's where two kinds of wind, two kinds of air masses are fighting each other. Two, big temperature change. It's been hot and muggy, and suddenly the temperature drops. Here in the South, a lot of people keep a big thermometer, right outside a kitchen window or something else they can see, because if the temperature in a storm coming up suddenly drops 10, 15, 20 degrees, it's a big indicator to look for tornadoes because of this transition, that spinning action, the weather, the current. It's a symptom of the condition, okay? So big temperature change. If it suddenly plummets in temperature around you, be thinking, because that's what's happening. This cold air and this water dropping from high altitude is sucking that down, and that is an indicator. Another thing, hail. Right here at this boundary area, hail starts forming, because those are the pellets that are generated way up in the cloud of the water being spun in that updraft, and they're collecting with each other, and it's so cold the water freezes. Well, it's coming down so fast, it doesn't have a chance to melt, and that is hail. So, what we need to know in the field is, one, you see that big wall of a cloud. Two, that squall line, that roll at the bottom of the cloud. You know what that is. Three, the wind blowing from you toward it. Not going to get wet yet. You're beyond that event horizon. Time to start thinking about a shelter site though. Next, suddenly the air goes chaotic around you. You're at the edge of the event horizon. You're within 10 minutes or less to the water pouring on you. Get the shelter up now. Get your cover on now. Seek for shelter. Watch that roll up there, that squall line. That's what's going to detach, and you'll see it start doing like that. And it's where a piece of it spun out and detached and comes down and touches. That's a tornado. Hail, common with these big heavy storms, is right there at that event horizon is the hail falling. Now, how do you know you're out of the danger? A tornado will form on the outer edge. A tornado will form in this area, but in that heavy downpour, it doesn't. Now, it may break loose and run under a little, but as soon as you're into that main rain pouring down, you're out of it. It's past you. So, in conclusion, this is not a big glamorous tip like how to take a little bit of this and make something big. This is one of those bits of wisdom that make you a woodsman. Not only the nice skills, not only the being able to set up a tarp, not only the haversack contents and the gadgets and the doonanny, it's being weather aware, environment aware, and being the one that can look at that cloud and say, we're about to have trouble. That is dangerous. This could be a bad situation. Now, what are you supposed to do if it spawns a tornado? Well, if it looks like it's going to spawn a tornado, you've got the storm, you've got the roll, all the indications are right there, and then the temperature suddenly plummets. What does that tell you? Start looking. Right now, start looking. If you're in a tent, I'd get out of the tent. I know you're going to get wet. I know you don't want to get wet. I don't want to get wet. But you're blinded. You're wearing blinders inside a tent. And you get outside the tent, and you can hear much better. And you can hear the sounds of trees snapping in the forest. You know it's a tornado. It's either a super downdraft of wind or it's a tornado. And either way, that tent, that tarp is not going to give you any protection. You need to be able to maneuver. This is when we need to be in the environment looking. I have personally gone through a tornado at night where me and two companions were camping out in a dense area along a river when something like this rolled up. and we have tornado, a big tornado, an F3 on top of us in this dense cover. All we knew was that limbs were snapping off of trees and falling. The wind was howling. We got out of our tents so we could at least try to make sure a tree wasn't going to fall on us. We could move. And we rode it out. It was difficult and it was a real scary moment. But if I had not realized this and we had stayed in that tent, I was in a tent, my two companions were in a separate tent. If we hadn't got out of that tent where we could maneuver, there's a much bigger chance we were going to get hurt. Because we were able to get out, look at the environment, make sure we wasn't about to get crushed by a tree, and be aware. Seek a low area to get down below ground level. We had a little creek ditch we could get into that we camped next to. We got down in that, and trees were falling all around us. It only lasts 5 minutes, and then the tornadoes moved on. Tornadoes are extremely destructive, but they're in usually a limited space, at least in my part of the country. Now, in Kansas, you might have a mile-wide tornado. Here, we only have, a couple 100 yards, usually, or less. Very intense, very destructive, but doesn't last long. So if you're weather-wise and you know what's coming up, you'll make it. Hope this gives you some ideas, guys. Please leave any questions or comments below. Until next time, I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.